If you have found your way here, it is likely because you have sensed a shift in the atmosphere, a change in the mechanics of the professional world that no one is explicitly talking about. We are here to validate that feeling and to map the terrain of this new reality. Today we are going to dissect the overqualified trap. I will break this complex problem down into four distinct movements. First, we will look at the ceiling, examining why the technical experience you spent decades acquiring is depreciating in the age of AI. Second, we will analyze the floor, explaining why the algorithms reject when you try to take a step back. Third, we will confront the void, the crisis of identity that occurs when the employee label is stripped away. And finally, we will outline an escape strategy pivoting from a commoditized employee to a sovereign individual. There is a specific kind of silence that haunts the inbox of the modern professional. You know it well. It is the silence that follows the submission of a resume you spent 20 years building. You are 45, maybe 50. You have led teams, you have managed budgets that exceed the GDP of small nations, you have weathered recessions, navigated mergers, and delivered results. And yet, for the last 6 months, you have been ghosted by recruiters who were in diapers when you wrote your first line of code or closed your first deal. When you finally do get a response, it is the most confusing rejection of all. You are overqualified. It sounds like a compliment, doesn't it? It sounds like they are saying you are too good for them. But the marketplace of 2026, overqualified is not a badge of honor. It is a quarantine flag. It means you are structurally unemployable in the current system. You are likely sitting there feeling a mix of shame and confusion. You feel broken. You feel like the world has moved on and left you stranded on an island of your own competence. I am here to tell you that you are not broken, but the game you are playing is. The labor market has undergone a phase change. The rules of physics that govern your career, experience equals value, tenure equals safety, have been rewritten. You are caught to a trap between two closing walls. Today, we are going to dismantle that trap. We are going to look at the cold, hard math of why you are being rejected, and then we are going to burn the rule book that got you here. Let's look at the first wall closing in on you. The rejection for the roles you think you deserve. The director roles, the VP roles, the positions that match your previous title. You apply for those roles because you have the experience. But here is the brutal truth the market isn't telling you. Your experience is largely depreciated inventory. For the last 20 years, we were paid for execution. We were paid to know how to do things, how to write the press release, how to code the model, how to build the Excel model. We hoarded this technical knowledge like gold. It was our leverage. But the cost of execution has collapsed. artificial intelligence has taken the cost of knowing how to do things and driven it toward zero. When you walk into an interview and talk about your 20 years of grinding, the hiring manager doesn't see an asset. They see legacy code. They see a professional whose toolbox is filled with heavy, expensive hammers in an age of laser cutters. You are trying to sell a premium process in a world that now values instant outcome. The painful reality is that a 25 years old with a GPT-4 subscription and high agency can replicate 80% of your output for 10% of your cost. They don't have your wisdom, no. The market isn't buying wisdom right now. It is buying velocity. You are being rejected from the top because you are still pitching yourself as a doer of high-end tasks. But the doing is no longer the bottleneck. The bottleneck is judgment. If you are fighting to prove you can still do the work better than the junior, you have already lost. You are competing against a tsunami with a bucket. So you adjust. You swallow your pride. You look at your mortgage, your kids' tuition, and you say, fine, I'll take a step back. I'll apply to the senior manager role. I'll do the work I did 10 years ago. I'll take a pay cut. And then comes the second role. You are overqualified. Why? Why would a company reject a Ferrari for the price of a Honda? Because to a corporation you are not a Ferrari. You are a liability. Hiring algorithms and HR directors view overqualified as code for flight risk. They look at your resume and they see a math equation that doesn't balance. They assume that the moment the economy turns or the moment a better offer comes along, you will leave. And they are right. You would leave because you are human and you know your worth. But it does deeper than flight risk. It is about cultural friction. A manager does not want a direct report who knows more than they do. It introduces entropy into the hierarchy. It threatens the status structure. When you apply for a lower role, you are signaling desperation. In the cold calculus of the market, desperation is a stench that drives down value. So here is the trap. You cannot go up because your technical toolbox is viewed as obsolete compared to AI augmented juniors. You cannot go down because your history makes you flight risk and a cultural threat. You are stuck in the dead zone, the uncanny valley of employment. Too expensive to be a grunt, too analog to be a visionary. This is not a slump. This is not a bad quarter. This is a structural displacement. I want you to pause and feel the weight of what I just said. You cannot go up and you cannot go down. Where do you go? This is the moment of crisis. This is where the depression sets in. Because for 40 years, society told you that your identity was your job title. You were the engineer, the marketer, the vice president. When that is stripped away and the market tells you that your self is no longer purchasable, you feel like you are dying. You are grieving. You are grieving the death of the social contract. The contract that said, if I work hard, learn new skills, and play by the rules, I will be safe. The contract has been voided. The corporation has broken faith with the individual. But here is the pivot. Here is the light in the lighthouse. The pain you are feeling is not the pain of destruction. It is the pain of shedding skin. The market is rejecting you as an employee because you have outgrown the container of employment. You are trying to fit a gallon of water into a shot glass. The rejection is a signal. It is the universe telling you to stop selling your time and start selling your mind. The only way out of the overqualified trap is to stop playing the game of qualification. You must stop asking for permission to work. You must stop waiting for a hiring manager to validate your existence. You must transition from being an employee to being a sovereign individual. What does that mean? It means you stop selling labor and you start selling outcomes. The junior with AI can produce the code, the copy, and the emails, but they do not know why they are doing it. They lack the scar tissue. They lack the intuition that comes from 20 years of failure. Your value has migrated. It has moved from your hands into your head. You are no longer the violin player. You are the conductor. Instead of applying for a job, you must identify a painful, expensive problem that the business has and propose a solution. You don't send a resume, you send a proposal. You don't ask for a salary, you price a project. I will not be your head of sales for 200,000 a year plus benefits. I will come in for 3 months, fix your broken funnel, train your junior team to use the tools I know, and I will charge you 50,000. To the company, this is low risk. No headcount, no benefits, just a problem solved. To you, this is sovereignty. You are not their property. You are their peer. This requires terrifying shift in psychology. You have to kill the part of you that craves the safety of the bi-weekly paycheck. That safety was always an illusion anyway, as you have recently learned. The overqualified label is not a verdict on your uselessness. It is a verdict on your misalignment. You are a heavy weapon trying to be used in a knife fight. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into their boxes. The boxes are burning. Take your obsolete toolbox and look closer. The tools of execution are rusty, yes, but the tools of wisdom, strategy, empathy, and judgment are sharper than ever. Those are the only things that AI cannot replicate. The market doesn't want to hire you. Good. That means you're free to build something they will eventually have to contract. Stand up, dust off the shame. The era of employee is ending. The era of sovereign is beginning. Welcome to the deep end. Thank you.